about July 29th is your next one? I don't know. What? July 29th is a month?
Can I please have a motion? Thank you. To reconvene the meeting in public session?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
If everyone could please rise and follow in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I will call roll. Mr. Spencer, Ms. Torregrossa, Mrs. Iannatelli,
Present.
Mrs. DiLorenzo,
Present.
Mrs. Napolitano-Ferno,
Present.
Mrs. Mallon,
Present.
Dr. Centimore,
Present.
Mr. Kohli-Hefar,
I am here.
Mrs. Poppy,
Present.
and Mr. Hauser.
Present.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to ask that Mr. Spencer please swear in our two newly elected board trustees, Marisol Mallon and Melissa Torregrossa.
Of the United States
and the state of New York,
and the state of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of trustee of the Board of Education
of trustee of the Board of Education
of the Connecticut Central School District
of the Connecticut Central School District
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you both. Now at this time, I will accept nominations for the office of President of the Connecticut Central School District's Board of Education.
I nominate Melissa Torregrossa.
I nominate Marisol Mallon.
Are there any further nominations? Nominations are now closed. I will do a roll call vote for each nominee in the order that they were nominated. So for Melissa Torregrossa, let's start with Mrs. Mallon,
No.
Mrs. Napolitano-Ferno,
Yes.
Mrs. DiLorenzo,
Yes.
Mrs. Iannatelli,
No.
Mrs. Torregrossa, Ms. Torregrossa.
No.
And for the nomination of Marisol Mallon, Mrs. Mallon, how do you vote?
Yes.
No.
Mrs. DiLorenzo,
No.
Mrs. Iannatelli,
Yes.
Mrs. Torregrossa. Congratulations, Mrs. Mallon, you are now the president. At this time, if you could please step forward again, and Mr. Spencer will give you the oath as board president.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I.
I, Marissa Mallon,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United
to
States,
support the Constitution of the United
the
States
state of New York,
and the state of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as President of the Board of Education
as president of the Board of Education
of the Connecticut Central School
of the Connecticut Central School District
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
At this time, I'm going to ask for nominations for the office of vice president.
I'm going to nominate April Iannatelli.
Are there any further nominations? The nominations are now closed. So for the nomination of Mrs. Iannatelli, Mrs. Mallon, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mrs. Napolitano-Ferno?
Absolutely no.
Mrs. DiLorenzo?
No.
Mrs. Iannatelli?
Yes.
Miss Torregrossa?
Yes.
Miss Iannatelli received a majority vote. She's now the vice president. If you could please stand, and Mr. Spencer will.
Oh, no, no, it doesn't. I don't trust you. This is representative lady, which I can't very far.
I, state your name. Do solemnly swear
And you know it. And the whole crowd knows it. I think it's great. Because this is one thing with the social rights matter, so it's a joke.
Vice President
I know this. But you know what? It's just the same. It's just what we hear when we speak to him.
to the best of my ability.
I wish you well.
Congratulations. At the end of the night, everyone who got sworn in, if you could just come see me so we can sign the book, I'd appreciate it. At this time, I'm going to transfer the meeting over to Mrs. Mallon. Just give me one moment.
Absolutely not. No. No, thank you. We are not a team.
If we want to
We don't want to be a picture, thank you.
We tried community, we tried to bridge that
So,
gap, and
yeah,
we wanted everything.
Like I said, we wanted unity and you guys wanted backdoor deals. I will not be taking pictures with backdoor deals.
I don't see what's not unity.
What's not unity is we tried to bridge this gap. The community views us as Marisol, April, Melissa versus the Jackies. So I reached out to Marisol and I said, you know, it would be nice to bring that unity. You said yourself, I don't view us as that. And yet, you said you're more comfortable having April as your vice president.
I don't view us as.
I'm not
absolutely.
finished. Please allow me to finish. So I said, well, it would be nice, you have one on each side, quote unquote, to show that we're really just 5 individuals that are trying to work together.
It's simple.
We tried.
Agenda setting will not be trusted like it wasn't last year. More of the same. I did pull Melissa aside to say, I think that she could bring unity with her skill set. I actually do. It was not an agenda. Somebody who's a social worker has the background who said to me that she believes all 5 people could bring something to the table. I believed it. So I believed that that's the person that should lead, not the person who just wants her name on diplomas or wants to make a speech because our children are graduating. I didn't care about titles and I don't care about titles. I care about us unifying. This board will not unify, not with the leadership it has, not with the zero trust, and not with the backdoor games.
It's about me. We did have a nice conversation and I appreciate it and I don't think that there was any backdoor agenda. So before that goes on at home, I don't think it was really like that. I don't feel ready to do that yet. I know I have a lot to learn. I think I thought about it for the half hour I had to think about it. I think it would be a disservice to this community for me to do that. And I hope I can still try to bring unity. I still have my skill set, no matter what position I'm in. But I do appreciate the conversation we had. I appreciate the vote of support. I do. I don't want this to become a thing.
No.
but I don't feel ready to do that personally.
And I appreciate it. I think that some people care more. They don't care about experience, because last year I had to correct Marisol about 10, 15 times in emails, and she didn't want to listen because she knows everything, apparently. I had to actually reach out at times to legal. It comes to the point where we felt a new person with new perspectives who says that they want to bring unity would be able to. The same people who were here last year, the same 4 women who didn't get along, will be the same 4 women.
But
Nothing will
Jackie,
change.
you will only get along with who you want to get along with. And like I told Jackie, I don't see us as 3 and 2. You see us as 3
Really?
and 2.
Because you also told Jackie you only felt comfortable with April.
No, I didn't say
Really?
that.
No,
I
that's
didn't
what you
say that.
said.
I said I feel comfortable. I didn't say only. I said I feel comfortable with April,
said
and I
only.
do, and I stand by that.
Marisol, that's fine. You can't bring unity. You couldn't do it last year. You won't do it this year. You're all about backdoor deals. You're all about the nonsense. You can sit here and say anything you want, but on Friday, you specifically said to me at a graduation party, I didn't get to read my speech at the graduation, but
didn't.
no worries, I have it for next year. You already assumed. You already had your
No,
vote.
I said
You pulled your
I said I could
friends.
always read it again.
We know
Who
what the
cares?
game is. It's not about unity and it's not about trust. It's not.
Okay. Well,
Absolutely.
we can only get along. No, you can get along
We
with who you
stated
want to
that
get
one
along
from
with.
each. It wasn't me. I said Marisol, Jackie, Melissa, what did I say outside? Marisol and Jackie, you and Jackie, you and April, you and Jackie. I said, leave me out of it. I don't care about titles. I never have. I've been here, this is my 6th year, and I never cared about titles. But people can't unify when people don't have trust. Last year, after agenda setting, every week, we had no trust. Jackie DiLorenzo felt very not included. There was no inclusivity that everyone talks about. So there is a clean slate. There's 4 people who dislike each other on this board, and we will not work well together. Melissa and I just had a splendid conversation. I actually believe that she wants to bring unity. I believe it. I would have liked to see her step up because I think that she would have been a better leader. I already know what we have here, not good leadership.
I agree with
you are
there,
welcome.
Jackie, about
You are
Melissa, and
definitely-
I think I do have to say you have excellent public speaking skills. You always have, and I think it would have been a welcome change for this year. So I'm sorry it didn't work out. I know you didn't want it anyway, but I think it would have been. I really do believe that.
Well, we appreciate your opinions. So now the Board of Education members will review the policies enumerated below and will complete inside said policies and return as necessary to the district clerk no later than August 27. So we have policy 2160, school district officer and employee code of ethics. Policy 2160 E.1, school board member ethics credo. We have policy 2160 E.2, school board members ethic exhibit. Policy 2160R, school board members ethics regulation. So can I call for a motion and a second to appoint the officers of the Connecticut Central School District as enumerated on the agenda?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Within 30 days, the district clerk will administer the oath of office to the remaining officers as required by law. And you will take your oath now, or? No. So Dr. Centimore, you will take your oath?
Sure. I, Joseph Santamore, do solemnly swear
That I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New York,
and the state of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
as superintendent of schools
as superintendent of schools
of the Connecticut Central Schools
of the Connecticut Central School
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
We will now appoint committee members. We have the Audit Committee, where the entire board is on there. The Health and Safety Committee. Does anybody want to do the Health and Safety Committee? The Policy Committee.
I want to do that.
I don't mind doing the policy committee. I didn't get to do it last year. I don't know who else.
So we have April and Jackie D. Do we have anybody as an alternate? Melissa as an alternate? Emergency,
If we could just use our mics too, so the speaker, the listeners at home can hear. Thank you.
Emergency Management Committee.
I want to do that.
I would like to do that one also.
I could be the alternate. There's an alternate for that one?
Yes. Okay, we have the Technology Committee.
I'll do it.
Melissa. Mental Health Advisory Committee.
I'll definitely be on that one again.
Do you want it?
Very involved with
Yeah,
the
I'll do mental health.
And I'll be the alternate.
Alternate. Curriculum Committee, I would like to be on
I want
there.
that one too.
Okay,
I'll be the alternate then?
sure.
Can we keep a tally of how many each person so that when it gets to the fact that everyone has an even amount somewhat?
Drug and Alcohol Task Force.
I want that one again.
I did that one, I'll do it again.
I will be alternate on that one.
The Anti-Bullying Task Force.
You guys want to do it? I'll be an alternate if you guys want to do it, just let me know.
I'll do anti-bullying. Did you? I don't think anyone else wants.
Anyone else want it? Otherwise, I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't care either way either.
Yeah, I'll be an alternate also for that one.
All right, so then put us on.
So Jax and then me as an alternate. Transportation.
If no one's taking them, I'll take them, but I already have 3, so,
I know, me too.
all right, so
Yeah.
who doesn't
I'll
have
take-
3?
I have 2.
Oh,
I was gonna take food service.
Okay, then I'll do transportation, if someone.
I do have to.
Are you not ready?
Oh, as the alternate, right? For drug and
Oh, I
alcohol.
have. Oh, wait, that one. I have policy.
I didn't take drug and alcohol. Drug and alcohol was April, Jax, and Melissa as the alternate.
I'll do it. If no one's doing it, that I'm fine with it.
Yeah, if you need someone to do them, I can do them because I know it's during the
yeah.
day. But it's, if anyone else wants them first, let them have
I don't
options.
mind taking on transportation.
Transportation.
Yeah.
Jax, you want the alternate?
Yeah, I'll take.
And food service. I'll do food service.
I'll be the alternate if nobody else, if somebody wants it, they can have it, and I'll be the alternate. If not, I'll take it.
Do you want to do food service?
The health and safety.
I'll do food service, yeah.
And I'll help with health and safety if you want. If no one's doing it, if it's just Melissa.
So I did write it down. Jesse, if you want to, for health and safety, I have Melissa and Jax. For policy committee, I have April and Jackie D with Melissa as the alternate. Emergency management, I have Jax and me with Jackie D Lorenzo as the alternate. For the technology, I have Melissa. Mental health advisory, I have Jackie D Lorenzo and Melissa with Jax as the alternate. For curriculum, I have myself and April with Jackie D Lorenzo as the alternate. Drug and alcohol, I have April and Jax with Melissa as an alternate. Anti-bullying, I have Melissa and Jax with myself as the alternate. Transportation, I have April, Jackie D Lorenzo with Jax as the alternate. And food service, I have myself and Jackie D Lorenzo. Oh, and April as an alternate. Okay, perfect. So for the organizational items, can I call for a motion and a second to approve items 2 through 50?
Motion.
Second.
Does anybody have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I call for a motion and a second to suspend the business meeting and convene the public hearing of the district-wide safety plan and code of conduct.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. So, Mr. Labate, you're going to present first?
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Adam Labate. I'm the Assistant Director of Security. I work along the Director of Security, Mr. Don Flynn. I'm here this evening to present the district-wide safety plan for the 2024-25 school year. The plan is submitted on this day for the adoption period for the District Board of Education, as well as allowing public comment. The plan is developed by the district-wide safety team, which consists of representatives from the Board of Education, administrators, community members, and parents. And I'd like to thank everyone involved during the school year, especially our SEPTA President Jill Connors. She's takes a strong interest in it, and she's always there to participate, and her input for the SEPTA children are always taken into consideration, and she does a great job with it. The committee does meet quarterly or as needed to update the plan as needed. It is a fluid document that does change throughout the year. The purpose of the district-wide safety plan, as outlined in the mission statement, and basically in sum and substance, it's established to provide for the safety, health, and security of students, faculty, and staff while allowing input from the community. I'm happy to take any questions or any comments concerning the matter, but if you have any questions or concerns, you could email to safetyplan@ccsdli.org. Any questions or comments from anybody?
Thank you.
All right.
If I could just add a thank you to Adam and to the team and to the committee, and also just to quickly explain to our community, the district-wide safety plan is a public document. It's also a generalized document. All districts, they do them every year, and they put them on websites so they're accessible. Every school, though, has a building-specific plan that is not a public document because of safety and security purposes, and those two get updated on an annual basis. Obviously, safety and security is always at the forefront, and we thank the community for their support, of course, our Board of Education in that endeavor as well.
Thank you. And now the code of conduct by Mr. Koligifer.
Good evening, everyone. So as similarly to the safety plan, the district is required to hold a public hearing for the code of conduct if any changes are made, and there is a 30-day, comment period. So just moving on, Jesse, next slide. There were some changes, and I do want to thank the Code of Conduct Committee, which was spearheaded by Joanne Pisani. Joanne Pisani is unfortunately unable to be here today, so I'm a very poor substitute for her. However, I'm substituting. So the Code of Conduct policy, there were revisions to the code they're made annually. The committee meets to review these policies and make recommendations. They are guided by the New York State School Boards Association. There are required and suggested changes to be made. And then this is the submission to the board for review after the approval and the adoption period. So there is that 30-day period. So I believe it's going to happen in August. Now that we have a time change on the board meeting, I think we have to figure that out. I'm sorry?
It would be approved at the August 27th meeting.
Okay.
We need 30 days.
Yeah, we do need, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you. So moving on. Some of the changes that were listed are listed here. The Code of Conduct clearly defines expectations of acceptable conduct for students. It applies to all students, school personnel, and parents. It's based on the principle of civility, mutual respect, citizenship, character, tolerance, honesty, and integrity. The student discipline and support policies and practices are implemented in a manner in which which is caring and equitable, respectful, based on trust among administration, staff, students, and families, and holds all individuals accountable. The conduct will, while on school property, engaging in school function or off-school property, harassment, including cyberbullying, DASA. So this does include things that may happen on the internet, social media, things of that nature. Possible consequences for unacceptable conduct and discipline, when necessary, will be administered promptly by the administration and whoever else is deemed necessary. The changes that were made they're minimal. There was a line that was added to the introduction in 5300.01. A lot of the definitions were, really came forward, and we changed some of those. Student rights and responsibilities, again, in 5300.10. Essential partners, student dress code had some edits to it, expected student conduct, student searches and interrogations, and then visitors to school. All of these had some minor changes that can be viewed as this code of conduct with its changes will be on the district website. Of course, there's always formatting and grammatical errors, so we did make those changes as well. So some of the revised definitions were the definition of fabrication. This is the list of all of those revised definitions. I'm not going to go through them, but Jesse's not at her seat, so I might go through them to, give myself time. Okay, thanks, Jesse. So as I said, the public hearing is now, it's open for a period of 30 days for any comments or questions, and any questions can be emailed to the Code of Conduct 23-24@ccsdli.org. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Colhever, and I also want to thank the committee and as well as Ms. Nicole Murphy from Gersey and Gersey. We got a lot of legal guidance, as we do every year when the Code of Conduct gets updated.
Is it possible that we could, sometimes we put it's like a ticker on the website for things, the Code of Conduct there, so that people can easily write to the website, find it, if they want to view it. They have 30 days from now, right? Can we do that on the website?
Scroll across the top.
Yeah, that goes above the pictures.
Yeah, we could do the public comment on both the Code of Conduct and the public and the district-wide. I think we normally do, but I'll definitely make sure that it gets set up.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone in the public have any questions on either presentation? All right, can I call for a motion and a second to adjourn the public hearing on the district-wide safety plan and Code of Conduct and reconvene the business meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, we have the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Ms. Mallon. And good evening, everyone. Thank you all to a great school year, and I'll speak more to that in a moment. But I just wanted to let the community know that we're very excited as we always look to enhance and streamline our communication. The district is now going to be, in the coming weeks, rolling out a new communication platform that will replace School Messenger and Remind. It's called Parent Square. Many school districts have moved towards this with a great deal of success. We're very excited about it. Shortly, parents will receive an email invitation that will give them an access link. And we're going to be putting support information up on the website shortly. There'll be training, especially virtual training for parents in the fall that will be planned. And of course, in terms of our staff, we'll be scheduling staff professional development as well. So we thank our curriculum office and our IT department for moving us in that direction, again, to enhance our communication throughout our community. So certainly June was a very busy month. We had more concerts. We had a film festival, a science symposium, as well as school-based activities galore, pre-K through 12, athletic awards, academic awards, military enlistment recognition, BOCES program graduations, BOCES recognition here at our high school. We had our alternative evening high school graduation, pre-K, grade 5, grade 8, moving up ceremonies. We had formals, walkthroughs, junior, senior proms, and the culmination with a successful high school graduation ceremony with a 99% student graduation rate under the most beautiful weather conditions. Congratulations to our graduates and their families, and to everyone who played a role in preparing for that event, and to everyone who played a role in their 13-year culmination to get to that point, from our staff to our families to our community at large. It takes a community. Thunderbird Nation. Our summer programs have begun or are about to in some cases, and then before you know it, not that I'm trying to wish the summer away, but then before you know it, our high school athletes and marching band students will start to take the field again in August for the formal start of the fall season. We're very excited for our summer programs. And again, we're certainly wishing everyone an enjoyable summer, and we hope that July goes nice and slow for everybody, because you all have certainly earned it. Thank you goes out to our teachers, our counselors, our social workers, psychologists, librarians, nurses, bus drivers, matrons, mechanics, teacher assistants, teacher aides, clerical, custodians, grounds, maintenance, security, operations and office directors, administration, the cabinet, the Board of Education, our parents, our parent organizations, our alumni, all community organizations and partners, and the most magnificent students on planet Earth. Of course, I'm just a little bit biased as a proud superintendent for making 2023-24 an absolutely wonderful school year. And here is to an amazing, incredible 2024-25. I am very excited for what the new school year will bring. I'm wishing everyone a safe and enjoyable 4th of July and an absolutely wonderful summer. Thank you all.
Thank you. We now have conferences that we would need to vote on and approve if somebody wanted to attend. We have the NISPA Summer Law Conference. Ms. DiLorenzo, I know you had said you wanted to attend that.
Yes.
Is anybody else?
I will be attending the law conference. I go every year.
So Jesse, I need a motion and a second to approve. Can I call for a motion and a second to approve Ms. DiLorenzo and Ms. Napolitano-Furno attending the NISPA Summer Law Conference July 23rd?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Then we have the NISPA's Annual Convention and Education Expo, October 20th to 22nd in New York City. Was anybody interested in that?
I might want to do that. So if we say yes and I don't go, it's fine.
I know, same, like I have to check my schedule.
It's kind of same with the law conference. I think I might not be here, but I'm not positive yet. That's the problem.
So in order to expend the funds, the board would need to approve that. So as far as the school law conference, which you guys already just voted on, you definitely could and then let me know. As far as the regular NISBA conference is concerned, there are differences in registration fees, so I just want you to keep that in mind. So if you want, hold on, I just want to pull it up so I can actually see what
If you don't register before September 9th, there's a $50 additional fee.
Right.
Right. So you guys definitely have time. We can revisit this in August if you'd like. So I could just, you want me to
Yeah,
do
I think that's good, because by then everyone should know if they're able to go. I'm looking to go to the New York
Right,
City
so
one.
we
That's
just
the big one.
approved Ms. DiLorenzo and Ms. Napolitano-Furno for
Right.
the
I
summer
mean,
law
even if we
conference.
could do it by the because we're moving the August 6th meeting to the 29th. Just because if you guys do plan to go to it's in New York City, they do block out rooms at certain hotels. They go very quickly. And I believe those blocks open on July 30th. And if we're hoping to get a blocked room, I would have to book them that day. So maybe I'll just move them to the July 29th, that's conversation to the July 29th meeting. And then we can have some confirmation from there. And also if you guys could just email me, we do have a limited conference budget at the board's request. So we have to keep that in mind as well. So if anyone is available to attend and they want to go, please let me know. I'll work with Bob if I need to, and we'll go from there. Okay?
Sounds perfect.
Can you also find out, so, the New York City one is October 20th through the 22nd. Do we have to attend all 3 days? I need to know that because there's certain days I probably could go and one I might not be able to go to.
So you wouldn't have to, I don't think you would have to attend all 3 days,
Right.
but we don't get like a discounted price for you only attending a certain
No,
day.
right, but I just wanted to
Right.
make sure that,
Right, I do think the expectation is that all 3 days are attended, but again, right, it's just one cost per.
And that also includes the pre-convention, some school law seminar, and the pre-convention board officers academy, correct? Or is that different dates?
That's the day before, the 20th. They're usually held on the 19th. Well, it'd be held on the 19th. It's usually the day before.
Each of the pre-convention.
Yeah, I do believe they're both they're not full day events. They're partial day events, and they're held the day before
At the same place.
at the same place.
Okay. So we're gonna table the annual convention till the July 29th.
Yeah, we don't even have to table it. I'll just move the discussion item.
That's perfect.
And we have just so everybody knows right now, nothing can be changed, I suppose, but there is a board meeting on the 22nd of October, that night. So for anybody that goes, I guess, just
could change.
keep
Yeah,
in
we
mind,
can
yeah,
address
just
that
that's
when
something
we-
that's on there. Just
Sure.
Okay, thank you. So now we have board discussion items. We have high school graduation, Ms. Napolitano-Furno.
Well, first, I'm going to go over a couple that obviously didn't make it on the agenda. I want to have admin put together the ratio of staff to students in the district. I know I asked for this once before, but I really need to follow up, and I want it, if possible, by July 29th.
Yeah, we actually have gotten that. They emailed it to us.
Yeah, no, but I
4
want,
months ago.
I want this year's, I understand what you're saying, but I want now the most recent for this year, now that we just accessed bodies.
Okay.
The numbers are gonna be different. I'd like to get information on the NEST program. That is with special education. I'd like that also for July, if at all possible, 29th. I would like all principals across district who don't already have one, put together a 5-year plan for the board's viewing. I'd like to see what initiatives are going to be taking place going forward for the next 5 years. I know I've asked for this on secondary levels and at the top level. I'd like to see, but I haven't seen any yet. That, if we can have that sometime before October, that would be great. So we have an idea what each school is doing and what initiatives they're doing for the year and for the years going forward. I had parents complaining about, and I agree with them on this. They feel that there's no accountability with our school website. The website has dates from 2021. There's issues with it. Now, I know, Mrs. Papa, you had said we're looking at that parent square and that has the capability. When we were at the emergency management, that it had the capability to take over the website. Am I right?
So at the conclusion of this school year, our current website host will no longer be doing that arm of business any longer. So we'll have to find a new host. Part of the rationale for onboarding Parent Square was because they do offer that option, certainly at a cost to the district. But that's something we'll be looking at and looking into over the course of this year. Periodically, we do review the website to see what's posted, to see what needs to be updated. And we catch many items, but clearly not all items. And so we can conduct an internal review of the website this fall and clean up some areas that need to be updated.
Is there any way to try to have that done this summer? Only because I feel like there are parents who, like myself, have issues navigating some of these websites. And now I'm being told, and I actually saw it also hit social media the other day, but mostly parents were reaching out and saying, hey, why is it so hard? Why are the dates from 2021? Why do, they said people feel like they have no one takes accountability for it. They feel like there's no follow-up. They feel like that all students and parents need to be able to go on and be a little bit more user-friendly.
Sure.
So,
We will get started on that this summer with an eye toward wrapping things up at the beginning of the school year.
that would be great. It would be great to see the equal access across the district in information for everyone.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that if you do look at the website, so the business department, and I pointed this out last year, has pictures, and they're not even updated pictures, just so you know, people in the department aren't even there anymore. And none of the other departments had pictures. And I was told that they were responsible for, each department was responsible for themselves, which I thought was odd for the website. So is that correct, or?
So it's a shared responsibility and a shared ownership. And in this role over the years, I've asked for comprehensive reviews of the website, encouraged updating. Depending on how the department is represented on the website does make a difference in terms of that update. And so there are some areas, there are a couple of departments that are rerouted on our website through Google. It's not a pure syntax host. And so they have a little bit of a different feel to them, and they need to be updated in a slightly different way. But that's certainly, Mrs. Iannatelli, something that we can work on, even in terms of the physical faces who are present when you open up that particular page, and I'm sure others.
Just would like to see continuity too. I mean, it's nice to have the picture so you put a face with a name. I like that feature that you can look at the business department and see that, even though it was, like I said, not updated, but I'd like to see that across all the departments.
Very good, we'll work on that.
Okay, and next is high school graduation. While I believe it was beautiful and I congratulate all of the graduates, there were a few issues that I had, and I stand by that. I believe building administration needs to next year not be sitting in front of us, but needs to be sitting to the side of the students like they always were in the past. I say this because there was some booing and some behavior that I have addressed in the past with young people and adults as spectators. And when it was fixed and you put admin, because that's really supposed to be assigned staff. It's not supposed to be, security's job is to, people were saying, I said, security's job is to secure and keep everyone safe. It is not their job to police people's behavior. That is why we have assigned staff, whether it be admin, whether it be, teachers or chaperones or whomever. I hope to not see that happen again. It was, in my opinion, absolutely disheartening. No student, and I do mean no student, should have to endure that kind of behavior. And I was totally disgusted by it.
I'd like to say a few things about graduation as well, which, of course, congratulations to everybody. It really was a beautiful day and a lot of things to be proud of that day. But again, besides what you said about the issues, which I totally agree with you, there are some other things that I saw, which I want to start by first thanking our, I guess it was custodians. I don't know who it was that was cleaning up the chairs. That was some job, especially because we had a storm that was on its way. And just I don't know, I guess just a thing to say to the community, when you come to these events, they're wonderful events, please throw out your trash, because their job of cleaning up the chairs and everything was enough of a job. But as I was there waiting for, I had a nephew who graduated, so I was there at the end when they were cleaning up the amount of trash that was left behind, water bottles. It was really, it was a bit too much. So please just take care of it. Our track, we're there to enjoy a beautiful event. So please take care of that. The other thing too I wanted to talk about was the designated seating area, which was wonderful. It's wonderful that we do that we have that. But I'm wondering if going forward, if we could do some sort of I don't know, a master list or something, because there were instances where family names were ripped off so other people could sit there. I'm assuming that the people who were supposed to sit there did not show. So there didn't seem to be an issue, but I learned later on from people that they actually saw the names being ripped off the chairs and shoved into their pocket. I don't think that's right at all. There's a reason for those designated spaces. Handicapped, yeah, and I was really disheartened when I heard that happened, because that's not what we do here at Connect What. We don't do things like that. And so I don't know if we can come up with, and it's a huge event, so I don't know, I can't even tell you how to come up with a master list, something, bracelet, something, so people know if you're sitting in that designated area for a special reason, you're allowed to be there. You're not just sneaking up to grab a few seats that you hope maybe those people won't show. So I think it was great that we had that, but something that we could possibly fix moving forward.
I thought that it was nice. Admin did a good job with making sure that the people who were handicapped did have seats.
Yes, they did.
I know that I reached out. I spoke to Dr. C. I spoke to admin at the building. They were accommodating and wonderful when it came to making sure that the kids and the adults that had special needs and handicap had seats and that couldn't get up on the stands. So that was excellent.
Yeah, thank you for that, because that was excellent. I was just disheartened to see that that's how, it was handled by some of the public. But thank you for that.
Thank you. We have a pool update. Mr. Allen, would you mind giving the board and the community an update on the pool project?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for pointing out the grounds crew. They worked tirelessly that whole entire week prepping everything, and it is a challenge trying to get everything buttoned up and closed up at the end of the night, and every little bit helps, but your appreciation will go back to them. And I'll listen, it's part of the deal. We all know it, but it does mean a lot to be acknowledged, so thank you for that. So the pool project, what happens when the state gets these projects from the architects and school districts is they assign numbers to these projects. Currently, the pool project is roughly 1,200 in those queue of all the projects at the state. The state has currently reviewed about 1,100 of those projects. So we're about 100 projects away. State averages between 25 and 35 projects a week. So I'm anticipating the end of January, oh my goodness, the end of July and beginning of August, we should have state approval for the pool. And that is exactly what we anticipated when we submitted the work up to the state. We will then go through the process of bidding that work out. We'll work with the architect, we'll work with purchasing, and we'll put that project out to the street, to vendors and contractors to get the pricing and everything else and make sure the scope of work is within the specifications and the budget that we've established for that. I anticipate all that happening very early in September and October. We'll have ample time to review it. And my hope is to be able to present that to the Board of Education for approval sometime in early November. With an early November approval, that will give the contractors the opportunity to start securing their materials, get their paperwork, their licensing, their insurances, and all that kind of stuff in place. And I've spoken with Mr. Mallory at great length, and we are anticipating a December start of the pool renovations. So people need to keep in mind, this is a structural renovation. This does not mean we're expanding the pool to 15 lanes. It doesn't mean we're making an Olympic-sized swimming pool that's going to rival the Olympic trials. We have structural issues in that space that we are going to be addressing. It may not look much different from the outside, but it will be secure and ready for use for the next 30 to 40 years. That's the goal. We're going to be renovating all the pumps, all the water filtration, the showers, and those areas as well. So December start, and anticipate 6 to 8 months for completion. So the athletic department is already working with neighboring districts and the YMCA, I believe, over in Sayville to figure out where programs are going to go and how they're going to be able to accommodate the needs of the students.
And this includes the swim teams as well?
And any organization that uses it, I will be following up with the athletic office multiple times between now and then, but we will be making accommodations wherever we have to accommodate.
And coaches and parents will get ample notice on this.
100%. I mean, I'm hoping as we get further along in the process and we get those approvals and we get those bids, there'll be an opportunity in a public meeting like this to once again provide updates. But yes, we will provide additional information through the high school and through the clubs and organizations, as well as the coaches who use that space.
Great, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I just wanted to let the public know that the August 6th meeting has been changed to Monday, July 29th. So does anybody else have any comments for board discussions or topics? All right, can I call for a motion and a second to approve the instructional and non-instructional personnel as presented?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
I have questions.
Oh, sure.
So there's a couple of stipends on the report that I wanted to find out what they're for. So we have the $10,000 stipend for Denise Fagan. Can you please explain that one?
That's Dennis Fagan. Dennis does our teacher center, and he gets a grant-funded stipend for running the teacher center. Teacher center is for professional development opportunities that teachers, TAs, actually clerical have taken as well. So it's the way we fund that is through a grant.
I like to hear that. I like free. My second one is the Claudia Ahern.
Ahern, and she is the clerical that supports that program.
Is that a grant also?
Yes.
Okay, we like that. Next one is we have 4 athletic coordinators. So I wanted to understand why we have 4 on the list.
There are 4 athletic coordinators, 1 at each of the middle schools and 2 at the high school. The program obviously is a lot larger at the high school, so the coordinators help assist the athletic teams with field maintenance in terms of getting lines done, coordination of the security, any of the other equipment, supplies, things of that nature that are needed. The athletic coordinators run that.
So they don't set up the scheduling or anything like that?
I don't believe so. Yeah, they don't.
However, they do coordinate chaperone assignments to the different athletic contests and events.
And what is the director's role in this?
The director oversees all of the athletic coordinators. If you want to equate it with something, you can think of the athletic director as the principal, and he has assistant principals who are working with him. So the athletic coordinators work in that capacity.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And motion passes. Can I call for a motion and a second to approve item number 2 of the financial matters?
A motion?
Second.
Does anybody have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I will now open the floor for the first public comment portion of the agenda. This public comment is for consent agenda items only. Does anybody have any consent agenda item questions? All right. Can I call for a motion and a second to approve items 2 through 15 of the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Does anybody have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I will now open the floor for the open public comment portion of the agenda. I will call individuals forward one at a time. Please wait for my acknowledgement before stepping up to the podium. You should have received a number card from security on your way in. If you have not, please see a security guard in the back of the room. Any person wishing to address the board shall address the board president. Comments should be kept as brief as possible and relate to school matters only. Each person will be limited to 3 minutes for 1 or more topics. Individual employees, parents, or children should not be identified by name, title, position, grade, or building. If members of the audience speak out of turn, the board may consider a recess until order is restored. Number 1.
Sorry, hi. I heard something that caught my attention. I work in the city. I commute to the city every day. I also go to a convention in the city in October. I know what hotel rooms cost in Manhattan in October night for a convention in New York City. Why would you not take the train each day to save a little bit of money if the budget
I
was
personally
reduced?
wouldn't stay over just because of my family.
Oh, okay. Because hotels were talked about.
Because they're part of the package if we were to elect to stay over.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Number 2. Number 3.
So I really hope that this board can put the swords down and come together. Because not only is it fair for all of you to try to work together for us and this entire community, but the people at our home that watch this and the examples that you guys set for the community is so important. And so many bigger and more important things to really worry about in life. I can attest to that. And you guys got to put the swords down for everybody's sake. Honestly, please try hard. Try hard for this community that's so great. I want my daughter to move here. She's in Smithtown now, and it's a great community. But I really would love it if my grandson can go to one of our elementary schools. We have the best teachers. We have the best admins. You guys need to help us all and just put the swords down and try really, really hard. And that's all I'm asking. You don't even have to comment. Please think about it.
Thank you. Number 4. 5. How many numbers were there? 5.
Happy summer. Congratulations to everybody that's back and has joined. I do agree. I think we need to work together. And I think that that is the only way to ensure success. My question is about graduation. I've had the pleasure of attending a few graduations. This past one, I noticed that the parents were in the bleachers and the students were on the field. As a parent with bad knees, I'm just wondering why it was flip-flopped, whereas the year before the parents were on the field and the students were on the field and the parents were in the bleachers.
So the bleachers are actually brand new. A couple of months ago, they were installed. So we now have this beautiful expanded bleacher section that I believe, Mr. Allen, about 2,000 seat capacity. It's pretty close to it. And so, administration and I supported it, felt that this was a great opportunity. Many school districts do utilize their bleachers when they have that kind of capacity. What was our bleacher capacity prior to that? A little over 600. Our graduating class was 450. So the thought was in a close to 2,000 seat bleachers, if you put 450 seniors, they kind of, and all that red, the bleachers are a beautiful red for our school colors. They're going to kind of get lost in that. This was an opportunity to kind of reverse it. I know some of the feedback I got when I first arrived last July was how, they'd like, the community, perhaps the board would like to see a little bit more of a contained situation in terms of people bringing coolers and blankets in their own chairs And, it really was a contained environment. I know we can have some feedback about maybe some tweaks here, some tweaks there. They added about another 1,000 chairs. And so adding more chairs even for next year on the track section. There's always some tweaks that can be done. But I think that if you haven't had a chance to see the new bleachers, they're beautiful. But
They're
imagine,
100%
but imagine if you only had about a quarter of it being filled with our seniors, and you had all that expanse.
Yes, aesthetically,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I'm
Right.
looking at it from like a safety perspective of an adult having to climb to the top, which we do during football games, and it's utilized. I was just wondering why it was done. My second
We did
question.
have several hundred, about 200 seats that were handicap designated. And again, in terms of on the track, there was about 1,000 total seats. So just some things to keep in mind with that.
Perfect. My other question was, I know in other districts, they don't have different colors for young men, young ladies. They're in one color, and then the school colors are like maybe down the sleeve or whatever, so they're not segregated. Has that ever been a conversation this way? We're not saying boys are in one color, girls are in another, maybe doing it that way. And perhaps just when they were calling names, it seemed like there were so many more young ladies than there were young men. It kind of seemed a little hard to follow along in the program. Just again, an idea of things to talk about for next year. We're always looking to do things better and move on. Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
I just wanted you to know that did come up last year also, and I do agree with the unified color and maybe something down the sleeve. I like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I actually always liked that we had the red and the white. And I like that they give the children the opportunity if somebody wants to wear white, even though they say the females wear white, the males wear red, I know that students have had the opportunity to pick whichever color they wanted. And that was always given, they've been given that opportunity. If a child wants to wear white instead of red and stand on a different side, they are allowed.
And that did happen this year. We had somebody that was more comfortable wearing white, and they chose to wear white.
And I do agree that I personally I understand the whole situation. For safety reasons, it is nice having the containment of people in the stands. But I personally liked graduation when the kids were standing behind us and sitting behind us. I liked that the stage was there. I just liked the whole, I also felt that, I just felt like there was better containment of the students, and that you could see them from no matter where you sat. So if you sat on the floor and you had people behind you, if they're up, you could see where your child specifically was versus being on flat. That's just my own opinion. I liked it like that.
Number 6. We'll pretend you're 6. I don't think there was a 6 anyway. I thought you were 6. Press the button on.
Okay, so on June 11th, I wrote an email to all the trustees, to the superintendent, to legal counsel, to the district clerk with a big concern of mine. I'm an LGBTQ grandma, and the safety of the LGBTQ kids is really important to me. So on March 12th, at this board meeting, there was a discussion about changing privacy policies and confidentiality policies. And the discussion was to tell parents if a kid comes out to a teacher that the policy by New York State states, no, you can't do that. And board member asked legal, can we change it? Because parental rights are involved. And the question wasn't answered at the meeting. And, for all the, I'm not scolding you, I'm just curious. For all the talk about transparency, my letter went like in the dark.
Not to interrupt you, but your letter actually did not go unnoticed. So Ms. DiLorenzo actually did respond to your letter and did inquire not to you,
not to me,
amongst
right.
us, and did inquire as to where it held in the legal status, because it is in legal's hands right now. And she did respond and did question where it's standing.
Okay, so my question is, according to your community relations policies, like Code Policy 1000, it talks about sensitivity to the district residents and to hold in high regard their concerns. The feedback didn't show any of that because I didn't get any feedback. So I'm very glad that it caused some reaction, but will I ever find out what's going on?
Yes. So we are still awaiting legal, but yes.
Okay. And the other thing, I also saw policies that says if there's going to be a policy change, that interested community members could be on an advisory board for that policy change. So if there is a policy change with LGBTQ confidentiality, I would like to be on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Shut it off?
There's no number 7, right? Can I please get a motion?
Oh, somebody wants to speak.
Oh, sure.
We have a serious problem with the sports in our district, and that's why I came down here tonight. I know it's got nothing to do with the school board. I've been looking into it a lot. I know that they're organizations, associations, but they hold the Connecticut name. The presidents of these leagues are really hurting our school leagues, and it's getting out of hand. All right, and varsity coaches know about this, and they're getting a little frustrated, but they look at it like it's a conflict of interest. A lot of the presidents, for instance, the soccer league here, there's about 50 to 100 kids playing at St. Bayman. So why are you guys giving permits to the Connecticut leagues if they're not letting all the kids play in Connecticut? The football league is doing that right now. They shut down registration June 1st. All these other leagues are open till August 1st. Football don't start till September. So the new president this year shut down, and I'm sure you guys got a lot of emails the past couple of weeks about the football league. I didn't email it. My kids play in the league. I'm a coach here. My kids are third generation here in Connecticut, and it's a big problem because it's not that they're not from here, they're staying here, but it's a power trip with these presidents, and nobody oversees them. And I get it. You guys have a lot to do, a lot going on without sports. God bless you. But at the same time, they do what they want, when they want, and a lot of these moms are very upset. I'm sure you guys got a bunch of emails. Nobody wants to talk because they're afraid. One mom actually went to Suffolk County PAL because she went to that first because you guys sent out a message. I believe everybody got the same message. But anyway, they told her, it's up to you guys. They don't do nothing. That Suffolk County PAL told the president of the football league that mom's 3 kids are now off the league. Okay? She's now trying to go to Sable, but Sable just shut it down. All right? This is what's going on with the football league, the soccer league. My daughter plays for Sable Bayman. I'm upset because my kids are third generation here, and we have to leave Connecticut to go over to Sable. My boys play for Connecticut, travel for baseball. I'm trying to merge the sides. That's another problem that's going on here. Now, I know sports it's second to our education, everything that's going on, but it's serious here in the district, especially it funnels into our varsity programs. And if kids aren't staying here, then it means kids are going to go to St. John's, St. Anthony's. They might go somewhere else. They move. And I'm upset because, like I said, I'm 41. I'm from here. I went here, and it's not my kids, but a lot of parents and a lot of kids I coach. It's a serious struggle. So I don't know what can be done.
I wanted to give you a heads up. I know I had spoken to you. I had run into you, literally, and I had spoken to. I brought it up just so you know. I don't know if you watch these meetings.
No,
I don't. Yeah. So at the last meeting, I brought it up. I had asked for Dr. Sentimore, and he said he was going to do that, and I'll let him answer in a minute. But he was going to. I had said that it goes to the town of Islip, but that we really need to discuss this with the town of Islip because we also have. I don't know if you're familiar, but we have it where we're supposed to see rosters, which I would like to see. We are supposed to see the rosters for all of these organizations that use our fields. And those rosters have to be are supposed to be, because we're giving them a lot of times the use of it, 50%. Over 50% is supposed to be Connecticut students. So if you're unfamiliar with that, that's important. So those rosters need to be at least 50% of those students, or there are additional fees associated where we can even say, absolutely, it's part of our agreement with them. That's one. Two, we are having Dr. Centimore as well as, was it Reza or Mr. Hauser, look into it, because I had brought up those fields. I mean, I don't know who the people run it is, but I do know that not just you, I was getting a lot of emails and phone calls, and, you know, it's something that needs to be looked into, especially if Connect students are being hurt by it.
You're saying that they're not allowing our Connect students to?
Soccer, the soccer league is really ran bad by whoever they're running the league. Everybody left, and soccer doesn't care because they're trying to bring it's a lot going on with the sports stuff. But soccer, everybody's over Sable Bayman, and I'm
Look, I get it. My kids play soccer. I love Connect One.
And yeah, it's upsetting that we have to go to Sable, which ain't too far away. So then the football, this has been going on since June 1st. All right, there's a new president. The old president's actually from Connecticut, went to Connecticut, and they don't care. Their answer is, we'll give you a waiver, go play over there. So Connecticut's not allowing anybody to come into us, but they're shutting it down. Now, sports program here is PAL, it's everybody to play. It's not travel, it's for everybody to play.
Not to allow people to register to play. Like
exactly. So, but people are still in baseball, soccer, lacrosse in June. End of school year, how you close it down. So the president this year basically told the mayors, well, I'll give you a waiver, go over to Sable, go to Sachem. So I have friends that are on the Sachem board and the Sable board. I called over their football programs just to find out. I was curious. And Sable told me we frown upon it because we don't want other kids from other districts coming over here. So back in the day when we all went to school, you played for leagues. There was no PAL like this. It changed, which is good because now all the kids play together and they get to school and they keep continuing on. But these people are ruining it where they're shutting it down. Instead of making two teams, no, we got 20 kids, shut it off. Shut it off. But some teams in the football league, for instance, flag, there's 60 kids for 5 and 6 year olds. The 7-year-old division, they shut it down at 20. The 11-year-old, they shut it down. So, like, he's picking and choosing what he wants to do. And all the moms keep emailing him, talking to him. The one mom that actually went to the board, they emailed back the president, yeah, this is the girl, this is her name. She contacted us. He sent her a text message, said goodbye. Now, it's PAL's, she actually got it's a police officer that actually runs the PAL she found out or something like that. And she's like, now I'm like worried because like now everybody knows it's me. And she called me, I wasn't going to come down here. I was going to wait to hear back. But this upset me today that this president did this.
I'll let Dr. Centimore explain what his plans are.
So thank you for coming tonight. So we were certainly made aware recently about the youth football. The soccer is new, so
it's all the leagues, baseball too. It's
okay.
all of them. But I'm not really worried about that too much. But the football is really breaking.
To your point in the beginning, the school district does not run these leagues, but these are our grounds, and we do have a responsibility both through policy as well as just through our community outreach, to ensure that they're being properly utilized. And there are certain guidelines in place in terms of the ratios of Connecticut, students, residents that make up these rosters. What we're hoping to do, Mr. Hauser is our assistant superintendent for business. I'm going to be directly involved as well. One of his roles is to, kind of oversee the use of facilities and grounds, our fields. We certainly want to enter into a dialogue right away. We'll start with youth football. One, it's good to promote the partnership, but two, we got to get everybody on the same page. And if we're getting all these community parent concerns, and we need to understand how they're being addressed by the leadership of the league. And I know these are thankless positions. And I'm also wondering at some of these age levels, I remember when my own kids were younger and sometimes it's a coaching issue and trying to get people to volunteer and coach. So some certain ages, sometimes you don't have as many as you like. I'm not sure how that's working in terms of recruitment, in terms of that. But if we're hearing that our rosters are not 50% or more of Connecticut, and that's part of what we're looking to do. Not that I want you to stick around, but if you want to stick around and just leave your name and number, either myself or Mr. Hauser, we could try to get a little bit more information. And I'm sure that the league has, things that they're going to want to share with us. Again, we're looking to address community resident parent concerns because we want the absolute best for our kids and make sure they're getting the opportunity. We want to uphold district policies in terms of use of facilities. We want to try to help problem solve right away and address things, so they don't fester and they certainly don't grow. So if you can stick around a little bit, I'll get that contact information from you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Of course.
Can I please have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Have a good night, everybody. Happy and safe 4th of July.